Day 2 of practice at the Polynesian Bowl is in the books. Dave Berry alongside Matt Moreno. And Matt, today we are in the North Shore at Kahuku High School, and we wanted to talk receivers. Yesterday we mentioned Tay Nakua and Terry Bussey, but there's a whole lot more receivers to talk about. That's a very good position group. First of all, we want to talk about Logan Saldate, the Notre Dame commit. Tell me what you've seen out of him.
Yeah, kind of an underrated guy. I know that he's obviously a Bay Area guy, had some, kind of some of those connections, and a lot of people were thinking, Cal's going to be the option. And then all of a sudden, he explodes, has a really good spring and summer, and then out here, he's just been Dylan Raiola's favorite target. I mean, it just feels like every time there's a big play or an opportunity for a play down the field, or just kind of any opportunity to kind of make some things happen, you look and you're like, oh, there's number 19 again. And so, he's really flashed some good things. Doesn't necessarily have any one thing that jumps out at you that you're like, oh, that's an amazing part of his skill set, but just really consistent. Been really consistent through the practices, and has been really impressive. And just, again, Dylan Raiola's favorite target so far, it feels like.
Yeah, and one of his teammates, Mike Matthews, the Tennessee commit. What have you seen from him?
Oh, he's been really impressive. I mean, he, again, another just favorite target of the receiver, of the quarterbacks, and just somebody who just, again, really, really talented, and he's just living up to his ranking, and just does all the things that I think you would expect someone that is that highly rated to do. He's able to make plays down the field, and I think that's been really the big thing for him, is just the difficult catches. He's made them look really easy, and I think that's one of the things that's really stood out through the practices so far, is just those big plays. He's really been the guy that you look to and you go, okay, that's him again. So,
and then a couple of guys on the other team. First, let's talk Briyan Wesco, the Clemson commit.
Yeah, I mean, he's got kind of a wiry frame, and you go, what is he going to do and how's he going to look? But he's got the speed. I think that's one of those things when you look at those guys that are tall and lanky, you kind of hope that they have the speed. That's what everybody wants. But he's been really impressive as well. Working all over the field, making plays, but has that kind of length that I think every coach and every program wants at that position. Once he fills out a little bit, it's going to be really impressive because, again, another guy just making a ton of plays.
And then his teammate, Quasi Gilmer, a UCLA commit. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him quite a bit, out on the West Coast. A guy in California who stood out quite a bit, but out here is somebody else who has just really been involved in a lot of the action. I think they're going to use him in kind of some different ways this week, and that's kind of maybe one thing you can pay attention to for what he does at UCLA, is that you can kind of move him inside, outside. They moved him around a little bit, but really smooth player, really consistent again, and somebody who's just continuing to make plays, and really is another one of those guys that's just around the ball. I think that's all these guys that we're talking about right now. Is one of the things that stood out is that they're just kind of making the plays, and so Kwazi has been very consistent, and another guy that can go down the field and make a play.
All right, well, the receivers are going to be a group to watch throughout the week. We'll have plenty more coming from the Polynesian Bowl here on Rivals.com.